Alrighty, guys. So we are seeing a little bit of short-term redness. And now the big question is, are we about to start that possible dump, right? We've been speaking about the very important level when it comes to Bitcoin of that trend line. And I know many people were saying, oh, we've broken above. I was still saying, guys, I do think that the trap is still in play. I do think that as long as we still hold any of these boxes, there is still a possible downside leg. And now what we're starting to see is we're starting to see a little bit of loss of momentum, short time frame. But what I do have for you guys is I do have another trend. And if we lose that trend, we've got to get ready for the bigger pullback. And we've got to speak about how big is the next pullback going to be. Is this to 40,000? And from that, we bounce hard? Or is this the start to the 35K? Is this the start to possibly the Solana drop that can maybe take us down to $70 or $60? We're going to speak a lot about that. But guys, today's about being calm. It's about making smart decisions and being prepared for either scenario that plays out. If we do have that big bearish scenario, which I do have that big bearish scenario that we go down, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You just have to make some good, smart decisions with some of your trading portfolios today. And you got to look at the massive opportunities that it will create if we do have that massive dump. And obviously tonight we have FOMC. So what's going to happen is volatility will start. And what usually happens the last 4 times we've had FOMC is it actually changed the trend of the dominance. So we actually saw the dominance that has been trailing up now over the last couple of weeks. You know, we've seen that FOMC has been a reversal of dominance. And we obviously saw Ethereum yesterday. We saw Ethereum to Bitcoin pump up. So there's a lot to speak about today, guys. And today I'm doing 2 shows. We're doing the show now. We're preparing for what's going to happen to FOMC. And tonight, myself and Bullish Ran the Man will be on tonight, and we'll be doing the FOMC live. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. No more wasting time. I want to see smiles. I want to see coffee. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. So happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? FOMC losing time. Day. Yeah. FOMC day. Guys, happy Wednesday to you all. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Best loyal community out there. You could see that we work our butts every day, and a very bullish Sheldon is bearish. So I see a lot of people are quite confused about it. You know what's important, guys, to understand? As much as FUD comes out, as much as news comes out, and as much as all these things, you know, try sort of navigate where your decision must go, I cannot ignore my simple rules that I've done since I've started here. Every time I have ignored them, and I've ignored them before in the past, it's always bit me in the butt. And right now, we got to understand that a lot of the charts here are still showing quite high RSIs. If you look at this very simply on Bitcoin right now, the daily is sitting at the top. The 12-hour is sitting at the top. So therefore, get prepared for a correction. And now we're going to obviously speak about, are we going to get the higher low? We get the higher low, things are still quite good, guys. But nonetheless, I think this next dip, you know, you got 2 major scenarios that are going to play out. And ultimately, I think it's the dip to be buying for the bull market. It's the one that I think that'll be the last possible, you know, few weeks of entries in these zones before the market absolutely explodes and they're gone from you. So you got to look at it in both ways of, you know, the way you make money in crypto is the bull market. And it comes down to 1 entry on every single one of your altcoins. And that's the big thing about it, is you have money season that comes every 4 years, every 4 or 5 years, money season comes, and you're literally trading your butt off for years and months for that one single moment of that actual run happening. I see I'm freezing. Is my internet bad? Let me know in the chat, guys. Are you bullish or bearish for tonight? Pop in the comments right now. Let's see where everyone's at. I want to see that you're all calm and good. Willem says, here comes the dump. Let's see. We're going to $420. Oh, yeah? That's quite a dump. We need to wait for FOMC. Yes. So that's why we're going to prepare. So guys, let's jump straight into it at the moment, and let's see what's currently happening. So we obviously had the little push up, and it started to create a little bit of confusion. So we know that a couple days back, we spoke about the buy zone. We spoke about, you know, between the 38 and 39,500. We filled the CME gap, and we saw all the signs, right? We saw the RSIs flattened at the bottom. We saw that a lot of people were negative, but what we didn't see was the retest of that trend. So I knew that there was a temporary move coming to the upside, and I wanted to take advantage of that. We obviously got the Solana trade. Solana's been hyping up. We got Jupiter launched today, which is going to be massive. The only problem that I have with that is Sol sitting at $100. After Jupiter, what's the hype? So that's my big question about this. Like, we've had hype. We had ETF hype on Bitcoin. We've had all these things. But what's going to drive Bitcoin back to 50K right now? And what's going to drive Solana after Jupiter? Like, what is it going to be? And that's what we're going to be prepared for. When there's not much momentum and things like that, is usually when these coins start to cool down. So what I'm currently seeing, let's jump through here on a couple of short time analysis over here. And let's see. So we are back in trend, which means blinkers on, danger. There is a possibility of the big pullback. What you also have over here is the 4-hour trend. So this will be my big warning sign. And what it's basically saying here is, around the 42K is the area we want to hold currently now, going into FOMC. Short time frame, this is where we want to hold. If we start showing the early signs, and the early signs would be closing candles, right? If we see the 4 hours starts to come down here, and we start losing this before FOMC, it's giving us a sign over here that we're starting the bigger correction. Now, let's speak about this correction and what it basically means. I need a couple of minutes, Rand, then you can join. I know Rand's going to come and change it. Like, I need to chat. Please go tell Rand. Tell him I'm having a serious chat of the community. I need a couple of minutes. Then he can come and talk about my bachelor's and go and tell everyone all my secrets. Then he could go. So let's speak about this pullback, because right now I do think the pullback's in play, and I think we're starting it. Now, here's the plays that I spoke about yesterday. There was that maybe bullish scenario that we pumped up to 45, and I said I'm still bearish there if it goes down. But right now, as it stands, it looks like this one's in play. So if we can not go super bearish, what I'm seeing is down to 40K. I'm seeing a higher low, and then I'm seeing Bitcoin start to cruise its way up to the upside over there. So that's me being quite polite and quite nice to the downside if we decide to bounce at 40K. Now, I was looking here, why would we maybe bounce there? Is again, if you look at around on this coin glass over here on the liquidation section, there's a bunch of liquidations sitting at 41,700. There's more sitting down at 41,500. And then below that is 39,000. So there's maybe a scenario that they come down and we do have that higher low bounce, which would be quite bullish for the markets. If we do bounce, they're pretty strong. But then nonetheless, if you look below that, there's bigger orders sitting at the bottom over here. So this is also indicating for me, if I look to the upside, there's not much people shorting in the market right now. There's a lot of people longing at the moment, and there is these big pools that are sitting. So now that I'm aware of that, again, it's showing me these two places over here, right? Which is basically the $40,000 to $41,000 zone, because you can see all the liquidation walls are sitting here at 41, which means they'll go through that. They'll go through that, send that thing to 40, and then we can look at the temporary bounce. But then on the other side, we also have the even bigger wall over here. And again, if it's 39,000, they're very likely to go through that. Now that we have an awareness of this over here, now we go back to the chart and we go, look. So this could be the one scenario where we come down. Now, the only thing that I'm seeing here is dominance is going up, guys. Dominance right now, the market dumps, dominance is going to go up, which means my altcoins, be aware, because if Bitcoin decides to go now to 40,000, what is that? That's basically a 5% correction, right? 5 to 7%. But if this bad boy goes up there, you're looking at 10, 15% on altcoins. That's what you're looking at on the smaller sort of scenario. And what's nice about that, guys, is we can pop on tomorrow and see where we're at. We could see, okay, we're bouncing, we're holding there and things like that. But then I also have the next scenario. And the next scenario is we basically just lose that completely. If we lose that completely, guys, I don't know why, but I do have a very fast scenario. I don't think it will last too long, but I do think that something could happen here where we really tank down hard. If so, I don't think we're going to go to the early 30,000s, but I do think 36 to 35 would be the major play. Now, don't ask me why with charts, but charts indicate sometime when a big move is coming. And I actually want to show you this over here. Why I say a big move's coming is because what we are seeing here is a downtrend of volume. Okay, so you're seeing volume come down. Now, I want to quickly explain volume to guys because it's one of the most powerful indicators, but most simple indicators you get out there. And it basically confirms when something's happening. So what that means is you'll have volume start to trend down. And then the moment you get end over here, you get a volume spike. And that will give us the clear directional move. Now, the fact that I know that we are trending down, I know there's a big volume spike coming. This obviously could mean two things. Mean a very strong bounce, or a massive acceleration to the downside. Now, if we lose that trend, I do see some scenario that will probably come out with news. I don't know what the news could possibly be. I don't know what it could do, anything like that, but the fast move could happen on news, and therefore 36 to 35K would be my areas. Now, let's speak about that for a second. If dominance goes up, if dominance decides to go up here, and you're looking at a strong 20% correction within Bitcoin, you're probably looking around 30 to 35% correction within altcoins. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of this. Reason why I don't want you to be afraid of this is, again, I bring up this chart over here, and you could see that the total 3 is still just waiting for the weekly stochastic RSI to get down. Okay. Yes, it could be a 20% correction, but that will be straight on support over here. And again, this would be the entries for me for the next major pump within altcoins. I do think when the ETH narrative comes, and let's speak about that for a second. So they've spoken about what date of May? 23rd. 23rd of May, they're speaking about the ETF approval for Ethereum. So what that means for me is I do think that January, Feb can be bearish for the market, but I do think from March, April, May, I think altcoins rocket. I think that is the moment where we finally get that big dominance pullback for a long period to the downside. And that's when we can start the major leg. Obviously, the whole of 2023 was basically around the Bitcoin ETF and everything was hyped around Bitcoin. Now, I do think after this next decent correction, we are going to have the true alt push. And we got a few fundamentals backing it, which is really good. So again, it's a big opportunity to load up there. So what I would basically be doing today is I'd be having a couple, random man's here. I'd be having a couple of these limit orders waiting. And I want to speak, yeah, the bulls here, the bulls here, the bears here, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧𝗕𝗥𝗦 in the house, and Plan B Rand, Plan Rand is in the house here.
Wait, so how are you calling the FOMC letter? Let's. I want you to put your bet now. Put your bet now.
I think FOMC goes bullish for stock markets. I think crypto does the opposite. I think crypto goes against. Yeah, I do at the moment. So again, I've spoken about 2 scenarios. I think about the 2 scenarios with Bitcoin is maybe there's a 40K. Maybe we go to 40K and we fine. But if we don't hold 40K, I'm calling 35K. And I think it's going to happen quick. And I do think there's news. And there's a few things backing it. Volume trending down, meaning that the next move, there's a big volume spike coming into play very soon. And if we don't hold the supports, we're back in trend, bro. We're back in danger. Yes, we had that little shine. Maybe we're going to make it, things like that. Until we're above that 44K, we are in danger. We are still playing this leg here. That can happen. However, that for me would be the best bull market entries for Bitcoin, Ethereum, many different altcoins. And I'm not afraid of it. But right now, I got to be honest, it's looking pretty terrible. And I want to speak about my shorts, right? There's all my shorts in profits. Remember, guys, Deepcoin, I've been taking these trades for you guys because I'm giving away all the profits above the $50,000. We're now on $60,000 over here, and I'm giving to 10 people. That means you'll get $1,000 each once I've closed this trade. You do need to have a Deepcoin account, and you do need to be trading at least $50 to do so. But as you could see, I am short. And what's even funny about it is I'm short Bitcoin for the first time in my life. I've never really traded Bitcoin. I'm short. So I got the shorts at 43,000. I got about 150K position over there of the shorts. I'm currently short on Bitcoin as well, just to make some daily cash, right? Just to make cash in between the move. And in case that big nuke does happen. Ryan, is there anything in the back of your head news-wise that could come in and destroy a little bit of momentum in the markets?
I just remember the last time there was an FOMC. Just remind me, just quickly Google, what was the date of the last FOMC meeting?
We'll have a look now.
Let's just go to that day. I want to show you something on that day.
Show me.
So,
Show me.
When was it? When was the last FOMC? Was it the 1st of December? Just check.
They're checking now.
Okay, hold on.
I'll have that for you in a sec.
I might have something for us here. Hold on a second.
Here's my Ethereum chart, guys. So I spoke about this yesterday. I spoke about, Ethereum, I do see the little push up, but that's exactly my drawing that I did 2 days ago on Ethereum. I said, we lost that trend. There's a push up. Yes, there was a little hype on it, but for me, this is still extremely bearish. Say again? 13 December. 13 December was last FOMC. So as things stand, like 18 to 1900 is my ETH targets. Guys, however, in 2-3 days, if we come down here and the RSI is at the bottom and we're holding here and we start breaking trends, cool. We know, okay, sweet. We're not going to have that 30%. It's a 15% correction. That's fine. But nonetheless, you got to be prepared for that. So a lot of these coins now are putting nice little 4-hour trends in play. So I would just tighten on any important trading cash that I have. I would tighten my stop losses. I'd be prepared for that because you want to have some sort of skin in the game. If the market comes down 30%, you got money and you're able to buy these incredible entries. That's bearish, Ran. Tell me that it's bullish.
No,
Tell me that it's bullish.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. As I said, we have to remain over this trend line. We didn't hold the trend line, but the real test is today, and I'll show you why I think the real test is today. So let's go back to the last FOMC meeting, which was on the 13th, right? The 12th. So look what happened on the 11th. That's the candle on the 11th. You see that candle over there? That big red candle is the 11th. It was that pre-FOMC jitters. Then as soon as FOMC happened, look what happened. We shot up, right? And now let's just break that into a 4-hour. Okay, so let's go into a 4-hour and let's go back to 11th, 12th, and 13th. I just want to show you something based on the last FOMC. So this is when the FOMC started last time. So remember, it tricked everybody to think that it's going to be a negative FOMC after we had a long streak up. Got to the FOMC, people got a little bit nervous. As the FOMC happened, we went up.
Was that the day before, right? That they started getting a bit nervous.
Yeah, 2 days before and then a day before, right? So I remember this clearly. So look there. So that is and then as soon as the FOMC happened, we started going up. I remember that you and I kicked ourselves because we weren't live. Do you remember?
I remember that very clearly.
Okay. So wait, someone says my volume is too low compared to yours. Let me just go. Let's take my volume up. There we go. That should be much better. How's that? Is my
way better? You got a radio voice, my friend.
Okay, so now let's go into the previous FOMC. So if someone can tell me when the previous FOMC was?
Wait, just before that, can we quickly have an argument there? Just zoom back in, please, sir. So the previous time you had dumps happening 2-3 days before FOMC. So if you go back over there, you saw for 2 days we were tanking into it. Go look at the difference now. The difference we pumped into FOMC now. So there's a complete look at this. So if you go look at the last 2 days, we came down. We came down from the top over there. I don't know if you want to bring it up and just zoom in there. The difference this time is we've gone up into FOMC. So there's a little bit of a difference. I get what you're saying, but previously we would dump into FOMC 2-3 days before, and that was cool. We've been going up for the last 3 days into FOMC, and for me, I've seen this before where we've gone up. What we always say: if we pump into FOMC, we usually dump. If we dump into FOMC, we usually go up, right?
October 31st to October 31st to November 1st. So let's go again. Let's go back to October 31st to November 1st. Sorry, I've got a million charts open here. October 31st, November 1st. October 31st. It's here. It's here. There is the day of the FOMC. See that big candle? That's the day of the FOMC. I'll show it to you on a 4-hour just so you can see it even better. Okay, here we go. I'll show you exactly the same thing. That's the only thing that's giving me hope is that since the Fed turned dovish, every time there's an FOMC, the markets go bullish. So here, I'll show you. So here's the first. There we go. There's your 4-hour candle on the first. See that over there? Going into the FOMC down, 2 days before down. See? And then bang. Here we go. Here we go. Up. And then after the day after FOMC, down. Okay, so you got exactly the same pattern. Just so you're clear, just look at this pattern. Before the FOMC, flat to down. See that there it is, flat to down. So slight pump 3 days before, right? Slight pump yesterday, today down, right? So slight pump in, down before the FOMC, and then up on FOMC, and then down 2 days later, right? Let's go back to the 1st of December. Sorry, what was the last date? It was the
13th.
13th. Okay, so
13th.
Let's go back to the 13th of December. Look here. So 13th of December, 12th today, basically. Because remember, the time zone is slightly out because we're in a different time zone to the Americans. Slightly down before. So up 2 days before, yesterday, i.e. yesterday, pump. Today, dump. FOMC starts, pump. FOMC finishes, dump, higher high. Okay?
Yes, correct.
Now let's go. I want to show you the same pattern, exactly the same pattern. So It was the one before that one. Hold on, I'm so confused over the date. Okay, 31st and 1st. So 31st, no, that was the one before. Hold on, that was the one before. So 31st and 1st. Then 31st October, 1st of November, 31st October over here, 31st October. So here, slight dump. See? So slight pump, slight dump into FOMC, pump, next day, dump. Let's go back one even more. I guarantee you it's exactly the same pattern, which would be the 19th and 20th of September. So I think 19th and 20th of September was when the Fed actually pivoted, if I remember correctly. Someone remind me. And we said it is the 19th to 20th. So let's go 19th to 20th September, 20th September, 19th September. Pump, day before, dump into FOMC. As soon as the FOMC goes up, pump, and then bleed, higher high.
Exactly.
Three times. You got the same pattern 3 times. So what I'm thinking, this is my logic. My logic is this is exactly what happened in what we expect in a dovish cycle, and I think we're in a dovish part of it. So I think what the market's going to do today, I think that the market's going to look at Powell's speech. Problem is they're watching Powell's speech with bull market glasses on, not with bear market glasses on, right? So what are they thinking? They're listening to find clues about when there is a rate cut. So you think about the sentiment now in the market. When is there going to be the first rate cut? When is there going to be the first rate cut? That's all that people are listening for at the moment. So what I think is going to happen is they're listening to it with those eyes, and they're going to cling on to anything that he says that a rate cut is happening. So, for example, he says the delegates believe that the rates will be cut this year. That's what they're going to cling on to. They're going to say, you see, Powell's saying that rates are going to be cut this year, right? That's what the market's looking for. So based on the last 3, if they
don't cut, what's your thoughts?
Well, they're not going to cut today. They could indicate the market is looking for signs that they're going to cut. That they will cut. I think it's impossible that they cut in March, and the market is expecting them to cut in March. So look here, right now, this is the prediction markets, if you want to call it that. They're saying in March. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so they're saying the probabilities here in March are there's a 54%. Okay, so now it's swung that in March there's going to be no rate cut, and then the first rate cut is going to be in May. You see? So that's what the market's forecasting right now. Okay.
Which for me then is it's pre-hype, right? It will last for 2-3 days and be done with, and that's it. Like for me, what's the catalyst? Why would Bitcoin go back to 50K now? Well, why would anything go back? And same thing. And let's quickly speak about your girlfriend here, Solana. Let's speak about this for a second. So here's the long trend that's been going up. It had a decent pump now, obviously into the Jupiter stuff. But let's say now we start breaking back to this trend now, and let's say this Jupiter thing is done. What else is going to keep Solana? What else is going to keep the hype for Sol? What will it keep performing right now? Like what's next, right? Because I'm trying to look at what's next sustainable. If I can't find at least 5 good reasons that it's sustainable, this market's coming down. Like this was a trap. It was there to hit the shorters, and we're going to go down, and there's more blood. Again, we look at a few of the indicators. The indicators, again, the liquidation pools are all sitting at the bottom, which is obviously an early sign. We look at the fear and greed. We're still sitting above 60. I'm just a little bit confused that last week he was speaking about we need more fear, right? We need more.
I agree with you. And remember, my thesis yesterday was I said, we have to hold above this trend line. If we don't hold above this trend line, then I have to say that my thesis, everything for me right now revolves around this trend line. Because the trend line is also, is it the 50 EMA or the 100? It is a key level. I don't remember exactly which key level, but this trend line here.
It's the 50 daily that we've literally just recently lost it. Yeah.
Correct. So this trend line here for me is the key. We broke through, we didn't hold. Bad. We broke back down again today. Now today I think we have a last chance to break back through, right? If we don't break
agreed.
If we don't break through today, then I've got to say, look, this was the dump, this was the retest, and then this is the next level. I mean, that's pretty much where we are.
So someone that's fully in, let's quickly remove the thing there. Someone that's fully in the market, like what would you do today? You know, if you're overexposed, like how would you personally trade it?
What's your time horizon? What's your time horizon?
No, your time. I don't know about the time, but like you've made some money now. You're sitting on good profits. You're sitting in a good level, and now you're sitting between maybe Bitcoin will go back to 45 or 50. Maybe it'll go down to 35. You know, what do you do with that portfolio? Do you put a couple of stops in, you know, to be prepared? Because the last thing you want to do is we do go to 34 and you weren't able to buy. I think that was a big one. So
I'll tell you what I would do. I'd look at my portfolio and make sure that I'm holding only quality tokens, right? I wouldn't sell now because I think that if you've got precedent on all the other FOMCs, this is exactly what happened before all the other FOMCs. So I wouldn't do it. In fact, someone's asking, what did I do with my trades? My trades are entirely open. Every single one of them is open. I haven't added, I haven't closed anything. Every single one of these trades is open. Every one of them is. I haven't touched them. Now, will I close any of my trades? No, because everything that I'm holding is good. So the logic for me then says, if I'm right, and this FOMC is a repeat of the previous FOMC, all of these trades do well. If I'm wrong, they all do badly in the short term, but these are also the same tokens that I would be holding for the long term, right? Every one of these is actually one of the tokens that I'd be holding for the long term. So you ask me, what do I think is the optimal strategy? The optimal strategy is, if you want to trade this, then you're going red or black, take a position, red or black. My feeling is hold your good tokens. If you're right, you're going to get the pump today. If you're wrong, it just means you're going to have to hold them 2-3 weeks longer to get back to where you were, maybe a month longer. That's what I would do. So,
because what I'm seeing, if Bitcoin goes to 35, I see Sol going to 65 to 70.
Then I buy.
That is the play. A lot of people are fully in the market though, and I think that's the tough situation. You know, if you're fully in right now, again, guys, for me, this, I don't know if you agree with me, Ron, but this is the bull market entries. This is my altcoin. Like when we get here, I think the ETH ETF starts rip in the next. I think the next Feb, it doesn't mean much, but I think March, April, ETH ETF comes into play. I think dominance comes down. I think alts go crazy. So this would be my ultimate entries here.
Someone says Ryan's trading without a stop loss. You're right. I am trading without a stop loss. The reason why I'm trading without a stop loss is because I'm not trading. The reason is I'm not trading. I'm not trading in and out. If these things go down 10%, I'm still going to hold every single one of them, right? Even if they go down 20%, I'm still going to hold every single one of them. So this is not like day trading where I'm trading to see if I can get down up. These are positions that I intend to hold for the next 6 months. Like I have, this rune position I've been holding since Amsterdam, or before Amsterdam, and you can see my entry is like $2.70. That's my entry level, so I'm holding it. I'm holding it until it goes to $7 or $8. So if it goes down today to $4, okay, I'll just hold it another week, 2 weeks. Who cares? You know, so that's the difference. I'm not trading. What I'll do tonight is I'll actually have another FOMC, another FOMC account which I'll trade.
No, me too. I'm gonna have fun. Like I'm short into this thing and things like that. I think I'm just looking at the other side of the audience too, guys. If you're in at the moment, my biggest thing here is why I love trend lines so much is I know that this is maybe a scenario. There's maybe a scenario and there will be some news on it. I don't know what it is. Volume's tapering down, something will happen, but just pop in this 4-hour trend over here. And on a lot of your coins, you will see the exact same trend that's forming right now. I'll show you it on Solana. You can see Solana's already showing a little bit of weakness. So let me just clear this up for you guys quickly. And just have your stops nice and tight on any important cash, you know, and then in a day or two, look at that. So Sol, there's your 4-hour trend now at the moment, starting to lose trend. So it's starting to show me that this could accelerate pretty quickly. So I'd have some tight stops on any important cash that you got available, as well as on the Bitcoin charts. If you see that we start to lose this trend, just protect, guys. After that, we're going to fight. Is the bottom 40,000? Is the bottom 35,000? The main thing is you have liquidity. You got cash. Yes.
Question. If today we get a pump, so we get into FOMC, we get a pump, the pump takes Bitcoin to 44,000.
Yes.
Okay. We close the day at 44,000. So we just go to, because let's look at the scenarios. Because the one scenario is we have a bad FOMC, and then I agree with you. Then this scenario that you've drawn out goes down now. And then we look. So
for me, 618 anywhere here. below 45, we're still in danger of another pullback, right? So what I'd want to see is we want to pump, like I want us to go to 46, 47. And then that retest, and that's our perfect entry. Okay, we're not having the pullback anymore. And then we go.
Because, I mean, you've already got your higher high at 43.5, 43.6.
So one thing... Yeah, so one thing I teach in sniper school is that's on the 4-hour chart. So that means the next 5 days. But we're looking at what's going to happen the next 2-3 weeks, right? And realistically on that chart, if you look on the daily, we don't have any higher highs, real higher highs. That's the high. Like this is a small little 4-hour, like that's the one to beat there. So the big
49.
thing that we need here, yeah, because if you look this whole journey here, it was, you know, a bunch of these highs, bunch of these lows. We were continuing that momentum. But if we don't get anywhere back above here for something like that, you know, it basically indicates that we are basically going to do something like that and then obviously start the bounce off. So I'm still waiting for this leg. And this leg might be 39.40. We got a bunch of liquidations there. And there is the scenario of 35 over here. But even if we go to 45, it's still showing me the pullback. And that's the thing for me to pay attention. And why I'm also basing that on is the weekly stocks are still going down, bro. So if you look at this, so just look at a little short time frame, not short time frame, but a little bit of mid-time sort of indicators, right? Your 12-hour is sitting capped out at the top right now. Your daily is sitting capped out at the top right now. Your weekly is still coming down, and it's indicating that we'll be in this block over here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And that, for me, just shows that there's still a possible another downside leg. Am I saying 30K? It could get that bad. But right now, as it stands, like it could be 40, guys. It could even be 35. But right now, prepare. Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion to everybody here today? Right now, and trust me, just trust me on this. I know Sheldon will do this. So go and take a pen and paper today, or a folder on your phone, or wherever you write things down, and you trust writing it down. Now, Sheldon, open that chart. Open that chart for me.
Okay.
So now go and say to yourself the following. If Bitcoin gets to 35 to the box, and your box is around, let's do it 35K. So if 36. Bitcoin gets to 36K, these are the tokens that I'm going to be buying. And write down which tokens you're going to be buying. Then what I want you to do is I want you to draw another, the next block you said can go even down to 32, right? That was the next level.
Correct. Yeah, it will be this level here.
Write down today. Write down today on a piece of paper. Write down today on a piece of paper. But write it, because when you write something, that's the conviction. And say, if, and by the way, say, this is how much money I'm going to put in. Then if Bitcoin gets down to 32, then say, I'm going to put in X amount of money, right? Do that today. And then fold out the piece of paper, file the email, wherever you keep your notes, okay? And then if it happens, pull out the note and make sure you actually execute. And afterwards, let's meet and say, okay, this was my paper. This is what I said I'm going to put in. Did I actually get that piece of paper? So that's what
correct.
You should do. The reason why you do shit like that is because when the market goes down to 36 or 32, it's going to feel like it's the end of the fucking world. Okay. Like you're going to really, Sheldon, you know what I'm talking about, Joe. When it gets that level,
exactly, bro.
It's going to feel like we're sweating. We think that we're going to feel like it's the worst time to put in, but that's the best time. And I think that if you've written it down, then you will execute on it, or you have a higher.
So true. That's one thing that Ryan's always come to me. It's like he tells me I must improve this on my shows, and he helps with a lot of things. And they're like, okay, cool. But he's like, have you written it down? He's like, you're not going to do it unless you write it down. And he always makes sure that I write it myself. So I agree on that. One thing that's also interesting, Ryan, if we do have the dump, right, dominance is going up. So that's something you got to put into your mind as well, that if you do have a 20% correction on Bitcoin, it's very likely that you'll probably have a 30, 35. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not shying down from a $70, $60 Solana. But however, if we do have the big dump and this goes up, you know what happens next on the bounce. And when the bounce happens, that's where you're going to see a mega bounce. And again, that comes down to total 3, the mega bounce for me, the one that's massive over there. So I think a big thing here, guys, is to look at a few of your charts now. And let's look at a few things on where you're going to buy these tokens, right? And you got to understand that you got to basically look at Solana now and correlate it to Bitcoin, correlate it to the similar prices. That when Bitcoin went down to 39K, all of a sudden Solana went to 80. So now if Bitcoin decides, and what was that? It was the previous support here, right? But now if Bitcoin decides to go to the next one, which is the 35, what's that indicating? $65. If it decides to go to $30, you might get a $50 Solana. Like, it's crazy, but end of the day, you got to correlate it in that sort of way to understand where are you going to buy these tokens. For me, the hot spot of Sol is between that 65 and 80. You can get it there. I think that's going to be great. What does that mean for things like Ethereum? It means Ethereum.
Let's play a little game. If Bitcoin hits 36,000, where's Sol going? The 36,000 level.
Correct. I don't see any more hype on Sol for at least another 2-3 weeks. I don't see what catalyst is going to hype it. Like, the hype sort of like gone there for me. And that tends to be when the acceleration starts. But here's another example. I'm not bullish. I'm not just hitting Sol here. This could be an $1,800 to $2,000 ETH. You look at things like THORChain. THORChain for me, $3. $3.5, $3. Like, and this for me is the final leg to come test these supports. Your weekly stochastics will be at the bottom. Everything will be on support. Everyone will be bearish. Fear and greed will be down. There won't be much liquidate. There won't be much leverage in the market. And these are all signs of perfect entries.
Okay, so here's my list. Let's just do just for shits and giggles. We're saying that the first thing for Bitcoin is that we're going to go down to 36,000. Okay, that's the 36,000. Okay? Now, if 36,000, if it happens, tell me where Beam is going to be, because Beam is on my buy list. So let's go to Beam.
Okay, let me load these up here quick. Beam.
Whoa, yeah, nice little dumpy, bro. A little dumpy.
Is everything tanking a bit? Okay, this was my previous. So Beam's tough because there's not much data on it at all over here, but there will be some good FOB levels. So let me just have a look here. Give me 2 secs. Why is this not selected? There we go. Okay, so if you look at that, that's the whole leg. So you'll take a FOB. To be honest, it will probably go. Let's just put this in here. Come on. There we go. We're probably looking at around this mark over here. So you're looking at around 40% down from where it is currently. Perfect. So if you look at where we are right now, we're about to possibly lose a trend. And if we lose that trend, it's very likely we're coming down to between the 618, 786. So I would start getting in. If I look at percentage-wise, I would start laddering in on this thing when you see from where we are now, between 25 and 40% down will be my buys. There's just a lot of zeros there. So
next one that I want you to check for me is Astroport. So Astro, if Bitcoin goes down to 36, what is the number of Astroport? What is the price that I'm looking back?
What is the ticker again? Astro.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Someone says, why no render on the list? The reason why I don't have render is I've got enough render. And these are the tokens. Everybody's buy list is going to be different based on their own portfolio. This is my buy list based on my portfolio. It doesn't mean that it has to be your buy list.
Yeah, guys, I would look at things like gaming and, to have a couple of the narratives in play. So we're close to a trend break. We lose this trend. This is where it is here. So 1.5 cents.
So half.
1.55 cents. So half. Correct.
Half. 50% down.
Correct.
Okay, so you're looking for 50%.
Correct. And this is me being like bearish. This is me being like, if that nuke comes, this is where we get.
Next one. Let's look at the next one. Rune, you said $3. $3 is your.
To be honest, I would go a little bit higher, around 3.3, 3.4, so that you're before the craziness is where I'd be looking at Rune, which is great entries, by the way.
Pith.
That's also pretty new. Doesn't have. It was actually looking pretty bullish, I think, this morning. It was showing a bit of live.
Someone says, what about XRP? Well, what about XRP?
Yeah, XRP like 35, 40 cents is the mark. So if I look at Perth, again, this is why I hate trading new coins, because they got no data. But nonetheless, it's probably around the 30, I'd say between the 30 and the 35 cent mark. So not too much damage on Perth, to be honest. It doesn't look too like super. It's actually holding up pretty well considering where the market's at. So I don't think it will come down too much. But I'd say between 30 and 35 cents.
Let's do one more on my buy list. So
let's quickly do IMX. So IMX, I think, will come down to 1.2 to 1.5 on IMX. What's the next one?
Robert, RLB.
Okay, let's just see if I can get a right chart.
We're gonna have a big show tonight trading on Banter Plus, right? We're gonna go apeshit trading today, trading the 3 minute.
Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to Banter Plus. Rollbit. Again, this thing has lost all these previous trends over here, so I'm calling probably the bottom of the range. So let's have a look here. There's it there. So bottom of the range. Yeah, you're probably looking at around the areas of 7 to 10 cent mark.
That's it. That's my number. Guys, remember,
That's
if you're not
number.
subscribed to Banter and Banter Plus, and you need to be subscribed to Banter and Banter Plus if you want to win the Banter bags. Also, you've got to have any exchange account with a Crypto Banter referral link. We are speaking to the winner. We announced one winner, and unfortunately, that winner wasn't subscribed to Banter Plus at the time, and they're not able to claim the bags now. So you never know when you're going to be selected. Like, we could choose someone tonight on the stream, right? We could. By that time, you got to have an exchange account with a Crypto Banter link. By the way, there's a link below, and you've got to be subscribed to Banter, and you got to be subscribed to Banter Plus. Don't win, but not win. You know what I mean? That would be very sad. Someone says we're dumping right now. Are we dumping, Sheldon? Is it doing exactly the same it always does on the day of FOMC? Because that would be a surprise.
Yeah, so the dump's happening now, guys. What I really don't want to do, I don't want to lose 42 before the dump, because what that would indicate for me is there will still be maybe a little pump on FOMC. But what it would indicate, let's just quickly pop this on here, is if we come down and we come, let's say, down to around 41, then there'll be a little possible pump into FOMC here. And then once the hype is done, you know, big downside here. But guys, this is playing exactly like my shorts here are printing. We're on 62K now on this account here. When we start our little $100 accounts, we're now sitting on $240. So those who started over there with us, my Bitcoin short at the moment is 2.5K up.
Well done, well done on that short. Well done. I think you had a
Thank
lot
you,
of
bro. Thank you. It's just, yeah, it's just everything was telling me, the whole, like everything in my ears saying we're bullish, but every sign, RSI's top, no volume, no this, no that. It was like, this thing's not real. You know, this pump's not real. However, I'm still incredibly bullish for the year, guys. This is just big entries here. So I just want to quickly update you on Sol. So Sol's lost the trend, guys. So it's lost the 4-hour trend. So for me, it's now going to start the basic pullback. There will be, however, probably a little retest at some point. So let's just quickly have a look at the retest. But, you know, this could possibly come up here to 100. But we should start.
It's going to be a fun show tonight, bro. Me trading, you with your short-term trend lines. It's going to be
fun. And the damage will already be done by then. Like, then we could see there might be some longs. Like, the damage will be done. Like, let's see.
It's going to be beautiful.
That's going to be fun.
Beautiful.
It's going to be fun.
I'm going to jump. You guys carry on trading.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm going to carry on for a bit, guys. I got a few charts to go here. Let's just get a little bit of understanding of what we're doing. Thank you, Ran. Appreciate it, bro. So, guys, don't be scared. Don't be scared. The purpose of this is not to fear the crap out of you and make you terrified. And again, don't go do any silly decisions. Not just get out. Like, end of the day, I'm getting out. I'm hedging that if the 36K comes into play, I can buy it. That's it. Okay. If you already got entries on Solana at $40, $50, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on losing an incredible entry that you got. However, go through your charts and be realistic with yourself. If you're someone that has been buying the tops, so let's say if you look at Solana right now over the last week, and I'll go through a couple of coins now. If you have bought anywhere in this top half over here on a lot of the coins, protect that cash. Put some stops in and be prepared, because there can be a bigger correction. If you bought anywhere in these ranges of these areas down here, over here, you're fine. And that's why you got to be realistic with a lot of your coins. If you go through on Ethereum now, where did I buy it? If I bought it over here, you're cool. If you bought it over here, just be aware, right? And it's the same with Bitcoin. If you bought Bitcoin below 35, cool, you're fine. And that's why. So don't go unnecessarily, just go lose positions, guys, and things like that. It's just about, if you have to be very honest with yourself today. If you got some shitty entries, be honest with it, put a stop loss in and rectify those entries. Because when the bull market comes, all you're left with is your coins and your entries. That's it. That's what's going to determine how much money you're going to make in the next bull market, is where the hell you bought these tokens. And that's why whenever you have these events coming, when there's big dumps are coming, never look at them as a scary thing. Just be honest with yourself. It's time for reshuffling my portfolio. And yes, I screwed up. I bought a few tokens too late, but let's rectify it. Let's fix it, right? And get ready for the next one. So that's the exciting things. It's not about fear and things like that. Don't be fearful, guys. The next dump creates your opportunity for the pump. And that's the big thing to pay attention to. So I want to quickly recap here on a couple of these trades. Let's just have a look here. Have you got that video? Yeah. While we're on here quickly, guys, remember we have a partner, Rebate. They have launched something pretty big today. It's groundbreaking for them. Can we play this video? Okay, let's have a look here quickly. Have a quick, remember, this is a place where you can build gambling games For me, I'm not personally a gambler, but I know traders that buy crazy amounts of leverage. Okay, let's rectify. So if you are looking for some trades, so I want to show you guys this quickly. So this was Sniper Club this morning. They have given the new trades. I gave a AVAX short. So remember, Sniper Club, guys, if you go straight below in the description over here of the show, let's see if it's over here. There we go. You will see Sniper Club below. If you want to join, we do signals there. We do a whole bunch of things there, but there is Sniper Club over there. You got coaches, you got people that are helping. That's all there. You can see I filled this with shorts. We got stopped 2 days ago on shorts, and now we're back on the shorts, and these are in the money. And what we're going to go there soon, and I'll give you guys a little hint, is the Solana short. I'm going to be that guy, right? I'm going to be that guy when the whole world's bullish on Solana on the biggest day, the Sheldon news event day. I'm going to be looking at another short, and it might be a short-term one. It might end up being the best shorts ever, but nonetheless, we are losing this trend. So I want to short the retest here, put a stop loss below, and start preparing for the downwards push over here, and to make cash as well. So if you want to join that, it's there for you guys. And now let's wait. Don't make any crazy decisions. Have a plan. If you've got shitty entries, let's fix them. Put some stop losses in, and let's prepare. I am prepared for $36,000 Bitcoin, and you should be prepared for that too. Be excited for it. But I'll be live with you guys in 9 hours from now.
8 hours.
8 hours from now, I'll be live with you guys again. For now, be safe. Don't make any crazy decisions. Love you all. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Much love. Let's wait for Craig. There is it there. Okay, click it. Come on.